somewhere else.
No, but we're live. What's going on, people? I'm having technical difficulties, man. They don't want us to be great. I got no music tonight. I got nothing. It's just me, a man in my wits, and Chris. What's going on?
Well, you say it that way.
My bad. I just
If you're the man, your tech, and your man of the wits, that still makes me the man on the wall. Works for me.
sure. I got nothing, man. So I was trying to use my computer. My computer is acting real weird and doesn't want to let me do anything. So I'm going live from the phone. I don't know if it's whether all this tech I got going on, but it's been acting weird. But we're live. So tonight we have Suicide Holla coming on here, man. We got Prentice Johnson, man. He's going to be yeah, man. I got no theme song, man. No, G Black man. I'm kind of I'm out here nude, man. It's just a weird feeling going live and not being able to do what I usually do. Um, Let me try something. It's gonna be weird. Um,
Nice.
while I do that, man, Chris, how was your day, man? What's going on?
Woo. What was that? Okay. I guess I'm the only one. My day's been fine. Thank you to the ladies at the Looking Glass podcast for this dope mug. I'm drinking some coffee because I got to spark myself up. Give me a second. That's tasty. I feel myself. I can hear the
Yeah.
echo. Oh man. Yeah,
Okay.
it's a whole
I'm getting out of there.
there it
Okay.
go.
You know what?
There it go. It's good.
Fuck
It's
it.
good.
They don't want us to be great, man. So
It's good.
I have
OBS,
so
here we
much to
come.
do, but I can't do it now. First, let's get the news out the way, man. What the shit is now on Apple's Radio. We launched Sunday. You can catch us now on there Monday and Thursdays. So twice a week you can catch us on the internet radio station, baby. We out here. So that's applesradio.com, or if you got Google or Google Assistant or Alexa, download the skill. Yeah, I know he is. You can download the Play skill and say, "Hey Google, play what the shit on Apple's Radio." So there's that. Some other things going on, but I just feel so weird right now because nothing seems to be working, and we're live. That's the beauty of live. You got to be able to pivot. So Chris, as I was saying before, the echo and all the weirdness, what's going on?
Um, Closing deals, shaking hands, and kissing babies, and not shaking babies and kissing hands. We don't want that. Doing good though, man. Doing good. What the shit Wednesday, as you can see.
Is
Um,
it right now?
yeah,
It's a little weird.
yeah. That's what the shit fits the narrative.
I'm not really liking it, man. Like I don't. I feel
Naked.
weird, and it's like I feel weird not being able to do what I had planned. Like you come up with a good plan, and then shit just fuck up on you, man. You know what I mean?
You gotta. Well, the fact that you pivoted to deal with the pivot, it works.
Did I though? Cause I feel like I'm flustered, man. I feel like I'm showing my stuff, man. I feel like my slip is showing. I'm out here slipping.
You slip.
Yeah, man. That's an
The
old school
old
reference.
school church
Yeah,
reference right there.
slip
With
showing,
Easter.
boys. Tighten up.
No, man.
But
I'm doing good, man. We had a pretty dope show last night. We had Tyler Lutz on. He was a science teacher and a martial artist and a massive Power Rangers fan, and he was just blowing us away with some of the information he had down there in Texas, how he incorporates his love of Power Rangers into his teachings and some of the stuff that he has coming up, which is really dope. Really dope about the idea. He's an advocate against bullying and just kind of bringing kids out of their shell and making them better. So literally building the next generation of do-gooders, so to speak, for the world. It's dope. Check it out. It's up now. We'll be dropping clips later this week. So
yeah, man. I still got nothing, man. I feel so weird. I'm gonna have to get this figured out tomorrow, man. Because I thought it was cool. I was like, oh, let me restart my computer, man. I'm good, you know. But as they say, the show goes on. Um, it is what it is. You know, ain't be mad about it. Um, that's what happens when you win it, man. The devil don't want you to win. I guess, or however that saying goes.
Join, yeah, that's kind of work.
Yeah, no, man, it's so crazy. This shit is so weird. So, news. I don't know what's going on new, man. I know somebody just got paid. Shout out to Stephon Diggs, man. My man just got $104 million in them things. An
That's
extension in
the most
Buffalo.
in the camp, isn't it?
Not by far. He got paid pretty well, but Deshaun Watson still leading everybody by like 80 million in them things. Shout out to the Lakers. They're gonna be sitting at home with us, man. The Lakers gonna be sitting at home with everybody else this summer.
I kind of seen that coming when LeBron had been sitting out the last couple games because of his ankle, and I'm like, yeah, they're not gonna.
It was not his ankle. Anthony Davis is soft as hospital cotton. Russell Westbrook hit the ocean.
I'm glad you said hospital cotton and not toddler thighs. it's a better reference there. I like
that boy Charmin. He is super soft. He can't stay healthy to save his life. Gun in hand right now. Like Anthony Davis, run down the street. This nigga twist his ankle walking, man. What's up, Boom Man? Shout out to Boom Man. Shout out to G Black Man. What's going on with y'all, man? Yeah, so the Lakers will be at home with everybody else. The Cavs is making a good push. They right now in the 7th seed. So
yeah, but they need to win these next
LeBron
few games.
Will be in Cleveland. If Cleveland make the playoffs, LeBron will be back home next season. Guaranteed bet. That nigga like, I want to come home again. How many times you gonna come home, brother? Like, home ain't even home no more. You done left. They done changed the locks. You still trying to force your ass back in. Whatever. The Grammys. I did not watch, so I don't know who won. So I'm not even gonna tell you I did. Something.
Yeah,
shout out to Silk Sonic. My man, they swept it. They 4 for 4, man. Shout out to Silk Sonic. That album is fucking fire, and they should have won everything.
Jasmine Sullivan finally won a Grammy because she's been putting out dope content for a minute now.
It only took her 20 years.
It took them 20 years to recognize it, apparently. I don't know. But
I don't know. Them hotels be winning, man. Y'all on Instagram getting people to tell their hoish secrets.
And for the record, everybody, we just had the Oscars and the Grammys back to back, and I never thought I'd see Beyonce perform at the Oscars. That's something I never really do because I don't really watch the Oscars until. But let's just put it like this. Can we just get it back to normal? Because all on Beyonce's internet, can we just not do this again? Like, I'm done with it all. Can go back to normal where we ain't got to worry about
cutting I'm trying to figure out what's normal now.
The Source Awards. That was normal.
The Source Awards was normal? When? Was the Source Awards ever normal?
That's what I'm saying. It set the standard.
This shit ain't been normal. They set the standard for shit.
Except for them last 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. Like, what else is going on, man? Like, not to bring our guests on, but before we do that, I think there's something else we need to address. The elephant in the room. I don't know how to say this without hurting nobody's feelings. But I got to be me. I wouldn't be me if I ain't said, nigga, Lakers gonna be sitting at home with everybody else. I don't know what y'all thought was gonna happen, man, but they're gonna be sitting at home. That dream team shit that was supposed to happen ain't happened. Russell Westbrook, this nigga couldn't shoot a shot in the ocean with a slingshot. Anthony Davis is hospital cotton. This man get hurt looking at himself in the mirror, combing his head. Bron, you did your thing, man. You couldn't hold that old ass team together. Glue and Ben Gay couldn't hold that team together. They're too old. Their average age was 60.
The worst stunner in history.
WrestleMania happened. I forgot. WrestleMania happened. That tragedy happened. Shout out to Roman Reigns, man. Shout out to Roman Reigns. I love this hoodie. God mode greatness on a different level. I feel like that's all season long. Stone Cold brought his old maniacal ass back in here. Them the 2 old bad knees and shit. He had 4 knee braces on. Imagine that. Not one, not two, but
You
three.
said they look
This nigga's-
like they get is adding more braces as he goes on. But shout out to Triple H. You know, I'm glad he stepped down when he did.
He ain't got no choice. His
Yeah,
heart gave out on him. It's like he wanted to stop. His body made him stop. That's what happens when you 55 and you take steroids for most of your life. That shit fucks up your heart, your dick.
But
I want to give a shout out to Bianca Belair, Sasha Banks, and Naomi, Roman Reigns.
Those were entertaining.
Bobby Lashley. Black people who were actually winning on the big stage, finally. I don't give a damn about none of them other ones.
Does that change the dynamic? Do you think this changes the dynamic of at least of WWE?
Not at all. Nope.
You think it's
still a white man's game?
Now, as far as like their match times, like this is probably the second, third time Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns matched off.
It's the 50th time.
I mean, but their timing was damn near 20 minutes. Both the last two matches, this one and the one before it was damn near 20 minutes. So it's like we need y'all to wrestle for 20 minutes. We're going for marathon, man.
Well, they pulled out a match, so they had to go longer. Like they cut some matches for time.
Yeah.
Because some other matches went longer. But they don't really care about it. I'm just tired of seeing them niggas fight. It's like Hatfield.
Here's the thing.
Like the Celtics, Cowboys, 49ers. Like these niggas fight every year. I can guarantee you three things. I'm going to stay black and die. I'm going to pay taxes, and Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns is going to fight somewhere, somehow.
I thought you were saying pay Brock Lesnar.
No. I mean, I like the character. I mean, I like this Brock Lesnar rather than the other one. Stoic. This one's having fun, man. That's all it's all about, having fun. Yeah. Speaking of having fun, we got to bring our first guest out here. Let me see if I can do this right, man, because my shit ain't working right. But, show don't stop. Shuicide, Holla in the building, people. What's going on, man?
Let me take these headphones out, man. My headphones not connecting up for y'all. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and sit this joint back up here then, man. Can I make it full screen?
Yes, sir. There's a button somewhere. I couldn't tell you.
There we go right here. Okay. All right, my man. Can y'all see me?
Yes, sir. Yeah. What's going on with you, man?
What's going on with everybody? What's going on?
Oh, man, you got it. So I got to ask, where you at? You had, there was a contest, and I forget the name of it. There was a musical contest you were a part of. Is that still going on? You still a part of it?
Oh, you talking about the Sway in the Morning joint?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, Sway. Me and Sway been following each other for about 5-6 years now, and he ended up putting together the overtime freestyle segment, which was something new that they started. They got a room that got DMX, Biggie, and Tupac in the background. Crazy, you know what I mean? Crazy great drop. And he put together a competition of about, it was anybody could enter from around the world, but they narrowed it down to 32. I ended up making it to the Elite 8. They just now finishing up the top 2, right? I want to say yesterday.
Those NCAA style, huh?
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, man. Sway is they was having that joint during the March Madness, man. It was good competition, man. It was some cool writers in there, man. It's always good coming from a small melting pot like Cleveland, Ohio, and then being able to put whatever you feel you have up against someone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, that's dope, man, because you made it to the Elite 8, man, and saying that ain't nothing to sneeze at, you know what I mean? Like,
nah, like we definitely want to, we definitely push to make sure the lyricism is peak. We've won multiple for the state. I think I won Ohio Hip Hop Awards Lyricist of the Year 2013, 14, 15, and 17. And outside of that, of course, anytime I put that pen down to the pad, I'm always looking to come with the greatest outcome, period. That's what I write for.
You had, there was a, Not Today, a song
Not
by
Today.
you, man. I dig the video, man. Like that video.
My man.
That video, man, because I'm a visual guy. I believe
Right,
that,
right.
you know what I'm saying? If you making video, like, you know, BET back in the day, the video didn't match the song. Or the video was just like didn't
You're
make
right.
no sense. You know what I
The
mean? And
visual treatments is
I was just
the
like,
importance of the
why?
visual treatment is crazy.
Yeah, so I watched the video and I'm like, this shit is crazy. This shit make me want to listen to the song again and again because it pretty much was a play on kind of like Fresh Prince.
It was Fresh Prince Next Friday.
Yeah.
Man, I whipped that joint up, man. Like I never really, I never really take the time to really sit and dwell on things that I've done. But from the beginning till now, whether it was cover arts, whether it was visual concepts, everything, I've come up with everything. I've never had another creative on, my hands-on work. So when it came to like doing the visuals, it's always easy getting the concepts and everything, but it's a little bit tougher getting all the components, like everybody that you need to play the roles.
Yeah, because you were Day in this video, man. You got Mace
Yeah,
and everything,
yeah.
man.
Got Mace. My man's was running the water on me for a long
I'm looking at it
time.
right. I'm looking at it right now.
He's a
Like,
method actor because he was getting drowned. Like, I was
Man,
like,
I'm talking about
takes? Now here's my question: how many takes was that, man? Because I hope that was one.
the water
shot,
joint.
Yes.
Everything was literally like a 1-2 take because I've been doing the visuals and everything for so long that I kind of exactly know what I like. But the water part, I think we did like 3 takes on that, so I got drowned.
Oh man,
I was gonna say,
yeah,
like
that looked like he got drowned in on that one, man.
I was gonna say, how many times did you want to do, or did it seem longer than the rest of the takes? That's what I was gonna ask you.
No, yeah, I got drowned for sure, my man. I got drowned. It was fun though. The whole visual, having Baby D chase me around the court and everything, like it was fun.
The energy of the video looks, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. The vibe of the video was dope. You know what I mean? You put some pop culture in there, but it also just felt like you was having fun.
I mean, when I sat and wrote the record and I realized I had 3 verses, 2 verses, 2 hooks, and it was only 1:48, I was like, man, that's kind of short, you know what I mean? And it's like, I wanted to have that replay value. Of course, the song is, the avid listeners are going to listen to it, but the visual, I wanted to go all the way up with the visual because I wanted them to be able to interpret the song by just looking at, you know what I mean, watching that video. Because I kind of, if you really pay attention to the lyrics of the song, I kind of matched them up with what was going on in the, like, during the part of the visual.
Yeah, that's what
like they're trying to. I had a bar about trying to stop my vision or something like that, and it was, the water pouring on me.
And that's what I was saying. Like, there's a lot of times where it don't match up. I mean, the song and the lyrics, you just be like, wait, now why is this nigga riding an elephant out of nowhere and he's talking about getting money? And I was like, you know what I'm saying? What is the metaphor? Like, some people overthink it. You know what I'm saying? The metaphors is the metaphors, and that's cool. But then they be trying to get the music, and they be trying to do these weird, outrageous messages and try to. I'm like, bro, it ain't even necessary.
I mean,
the closer you make it, the closer you make it to the actual theme, the more that the person that's viewing it can relate to it. Because honestly, the music is supposed to be relatable first and foremost. The visual is just supposed to grab them further. But you don't want to catch them with the music and then take them somewhere on another planet with the visual, unless that's your intent.
Yeah.
So,
how long did it take you to shoot that video?
We shot not today. I want to say full joint, probably. I mean, it was just one day of shooting, but I want to say in hours total, maybe 5.
It's not bad. You had a vision. You had a goal in mind. You had a vision.
Yeah, I already. You got to think, and then one has to understand. I don't live in Cleveland anymore, so when I come up, I want everything like this because I have it written out like that.
Yeah.
So, like, mind you, you see it's dark right now. I'm on the road coming back from Cleveland. I live 8 hours from Cleveland in Virginia, Chesapeake.
Okay.
So that's why it's dark. I'm in the car. I just dropped my son off at about 10 a.m. So I'm pulling. I would have been at home, but it's rush hour.
Yeah. If you're from Cleveland, you know what rush hour is like.
So we in that VA rush hour right now. It's a 16-hour round trip, but I drive, man. This type stuff don't do much to me.
I feel you. So I was an avid watcher of BET Uncut, and I think you know where I'm about to go with this.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That's one of my favorite joints, man.
I was an avid watcher of BET Uncut, and I understand why when I put these numbers out here, you know why they like they are. The song is "Pussy So Good." You got
Pussy So Good.
52,000 likes, 10 million views. Talk about that.
Getting ready. They actually no, it's a little over 11. It blows my mind honestly because when I put the concept together, when I got with my guys that shot the visual, you got to think they didn't even know that there would be a naked girl. She walked out and my guys just turned around and was like, "What is what?"
Yeah, that was
So-
on my attention because the first time I seen it, I didn't get that far, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, so basically, like in the theme, basically like in the theme of the visual, wrapping everything together, it's it's me playing Adam in the garden, but it's if you really pay attention to the whole feng shui of the visual, it's more of she's representing less because I never touched her one time.
Mm-hmm.
So she's just representing the spirit of lust. And when I put out these lyrics, the pussy so good I might go half on a baby with you, girl. It's just speaking in general. And what I'm doing is not only telling, the younger crowd that's following me that you will come across something where, there will be women that may entice you to the point where the vagina is so good you don't even want to pull out, or you may, fall into these type mistakes, but you never know the color, the demographic, the race, anything like that. This is just women in general. So the way I base the visual with the Adam and Eve thing would be me in the garden. Simply, this woman is walking around with this apple. She's butt naked, and I'm just this clueless guy that's rapping these lyrics, and she's trying to, sort of entice me throughout the visual with more touching, more, more skin showing, and more different things like that. But when I pitched it to my guys, I hadn't hit 1 million yet. I was just coming off the previous year, my biggest record to date, which was Hit Them Folks, which went worldwide. The kids went crazy, probably 1 million visuals worldwide of that. And it was like, okay, let me see if I can push the bar to this million view mark. And I'm like, it's only really so many ways that you can do it subconsciously unless you really implement some, different sort of nuances. So once I went in that direction and I pitched it to the female, she was on deck immediately. Within a week, we shot it. I told my guys, I just want to do 1 million, man. I think this would be the first one. And I literally posted it every 10,000 until it hit like 100,000 on my Insta story. And then it just went viral. Like it's literally just gone. Like it's crazy to see it. Like almost 12 million views.
It's over 11. It's over 11,000,005 now.
That's what I'm saying. Like to see that, and it's just like, wow. Like I'm ready to see.
Now,
not only your company, but more people. Yeah, I'm ready to see more people that take it in and be like, yo, what the hell is going on? Let me reach out to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Now,
I'm ready to look at it.
Now, why DC said it gives you that the uncut vibe, it doesn't give you that uncut sound because BET a cut. It was known to have a cut.
And if you really look at the comments, you got all these comments of people. How is this staying on you? How? And what they don't recognize is that it's more art than what y'all recognizing as porn or whatever the case is. It's art. Yeah, man.
People gonna hate. You had these bad body built people who be like, how can you show that? Like, don't appreciate what it is. Like you can't hate on everything. Like, people want to censor everything, but then it's only because they either weird or can't achieve it. Like, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's what it is. Is what I've noticed from a lot of the comments is, it's people that's really, I guess, feeling like, if they tried it, they wouldn't get the same result, or YouTube would yank theirs down. It's a million different ways to go about thinking about it, but what you should be doing as a viewer is just taking it in and either giving your opinion. You either like it or you don't. You know what I mean? I'm not here to try to make the world love me or nothing like that, but I'm putting out art and I'm being consistent with it and I'm being more and more creative with it. And it's going to land.
So
I like the visuals, man.
One of the newest
appreciate it, man.
Drop 325 was The Recipe. And from what I see, it's getting a good response. So let's talk about that project.
The recipe?
Yep.
Yeah, man. The recipe was a joint that those are actually my little cousins, blood cousins that are on the record. And you know, coming from, I'm not sure if you all are from Cleveland, Ohio. Where exactly are you all stationed out of?
I'm in
from
Cleveland.
Akron, but I was saying Ken. He's from Akron. He's saying Cleveland.
Right.
I mean, you know, we around.
Being from Cleveland, I'm sure you understand that it's not easy. Not only making a name, but even getting a look from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah, that's
so.
Period. I think, and that's one question I wanted to ask you. We'll touch it on it in a minute. I'll let you finish.
But and saying, like, before we get to that, it got to the point where I'm never gonna really, you know, try to sugarcoat too much, because what I want the people that's following me to understand is that this is a learning process. This is a journey. I never watched the people that came before me. I had people that I looked up to, my influencers, but they didn't really have internet journey, so you couldn't see. You know, this is just like my first time going through it. So I got to the point where, you know, sometimes things get frustrating going through the journey. I actually told myself before, I'm not going to even send any of my family through this journey because of things that I may have dealt with that I didn't want another person that I felt like I love or I care about to go through. But it got to a point where I was like, you know what? It's bigger than me. It's bigger than just Cleveland, Ohio. This needs to be known by the world. And who am I to say that I'm not going to guide a family member that's coming to me adamantly asking how we're doing or how can I? So when I finally got the opportunity, and my little cousins who were rapping for a while, doing what they were doing around the city, I had a beat. I'm like, you know, from what I'm hearing from them, I'm like, I think you all would sound good on this beat. I came into the city, I want to say December of last year, and I grabbed them all up. I said, we going into the studio. You know what I mean? I got the beat, and we came out with the recipe. It was the only track that we did, and just somehow it just came out, you know what I mean, dope. We shot the visual last week, so the people can be looking forward to that. But the recipe is really becoming like one of my favorite joints, man. It's the whole tempo, like the melody, everything. That joint is fire to me, man. Like coming out of Cleveland, Ohio. Coming out of Cleveland, Ohio, it's like, it's a beautiful thing, but at the same time, it molds you. Like, you want to come out of a Cleveland, Ohio. You want to come out of a New York. You want to come out of a Miami. Different areas, LA, they're gonna mold you into the artist you need to be, to have that longevity and to have the poise you need to make it in this industry, because it's not just peaches and cream on that other side of the gate.
Right about that.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna be able to deal with whatever comes with it, you gotta have that thick skin. And I'm positive that, like myself, you all know, coming out of that Cleveland and surrounding areas, you're gonna have that thick skin regardless, because ain't nobody looking at you like, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, let's go up to the top. Sure. I'm right behind you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, if there's one thing I learned in doing this podcasting thing, man, you find out quickly, well, who's for you and who's not.
Yeah.
And I don't really mind who's not. I don't really care. You know,
right?
That's more of their loss than mine. That sounds like I always say that sounds like a you problem, not a me problem. And I'm gonna continue to do what I gotta do. I'm gonna continue to keep climbing. When you start recognizing what's going on, it might be too late for you to jump back on the train.
Exactly.
I always have love for them, but at the same time, I got work to do.
You gotta separate and love them with. You gotta love them. You know what I mean? You can't change who you are from the core. What you gotta do is just protect what you got going on and continue to flourish for the people that do love, respect, and need that energy from you. That's all you can really focus on.
Indeed. Let's talk about influencing, man. What was your early? Because I like asking this question to musicians. It's always a different answer. So, like, what was your first introduction to music? Like, the first time you was like, I can do this, or just like, I feel the music in me?
Honestly, man, that's a great question, because coming from my background, like I would like to, anytime I get a chance to speak, you know what I mean, I'm gonna give in depth everything that I went through, because more people went through that, and I would like them to know that, man, it's a route out. period. Like I came from having 6 of us, me, 5 other siblings in a home with no parents, to the point where we fended for each other. I was the youngest. We fended for each other. We, you know, if it was food that was needed, I had an elder brother that would go to the store, steal things. We starved together. We were sick together. We did all these things. So when I finally, when the government finally came in and said, you all have no parental vision, like you all have no parental guidance, nobody's here, we're putting you all into the system. Once I went into foster care and was by myself all those years until I was 18, I fell into the mixtape game. I fell into the Grabs side of Queens, the 50 Cents when he was still chubby, the Chameleonaires, the whole Swisher House movement, and I'm like 13. So once I fell into this stuff and I started hearing the stories, Big L was another huge influence. Once I started hearing the stories and I'm like, okay, so what I went through with my family, I wasn't the only one. And, you know, it's many more people that dealt with that grit, sleeping next to roaches, not waking up to a meal, going outside with a pair of jeans on, no underwear. You know what I mean? Like, once I understood that there was more people that went through this stuff and they was displaying it like poetically, honestly, at the time, I didn't know what poetry was. I didn't know how to put some words together. I just knew when I heard these people get on these beats and they was talking about that pain, I knew, like, that's when it first grabbed me. So by the time I'm going into high school, freshman, sophomore year, they at the table, they making the Clips beat. When Clips came out with Grinding,
yes, sir.
when Clips came out with Grinding,
everybody was tapping that one.
Man, I'm talking about you can go a day of school without hearing Grinding beat at least 100 times on somebody's locker or somebody's lunch table.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So when you're sitting around and you seeing these kids step up and they putting these words together and you like, man, I can do that too. That was my introduction. Once I saw those kids rapping to that Grinding on the locker and all that, I went home. I got my pen and pad. You got to think at the same time, MTV was having shows like Making the Band coming on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Different joints was just like, it was almost like a perfect storm. Like it just all came together at the right time. And I'm like, you know what? That's me, to the point where by the time I got to 11th grade, I was having teachers saying history class. I remember like yesterday, history class, my teacher saying, you didn't do your homework? All right, well, I see you doing this nonstop. Go up in front of the class and rap for everybody, and that's going to be your assignment. So it was like, it was almost like the perfect storm. Like, I want to say high school, going into high school, them teenage years, when a kid is coming into finding out and figuring out who they are as a person, I took to that beat and those lyrics going over that. And it was really more geared towards the underground, which, you know, kind of aided and embedded the fact that I'm a lyricist, the fact that I can get on these hip hop records, but I can also do the commercial thing because, you know, being a student of the game far back, those guys were not only rapping about what they were doing, but they were rapping about the mistakes that they were making that were keeping them from the mainstream.
Yeah.
I'm listening, I'm taking all this in, and I'm just, you know what I mean? I'm creating my mental, not unconsciously.
And I'm glad you shared that, because it's one thing that I always tell people. Here, I like to hear the story straight from the source. I don't like the TMZ stories. I want people to hear from that person, because you never know who might be listening. Your story might help out. So I appreciate you for sharing that, man, because we all, trust me, I've been there, so I know how that is, man. You know what I'm saying? Mom's working late. My dad wasn't there.
Man, well, you know what I mean? Mom's was heavy on the pipe. Like, I'm at the point where, you know what I mean? I put it in the stories. I put my stories out. I never really got on the pad, and I always found it much easier to just write what was real, what I was going through, what I actually lived. It's because it was always hard for me, like extremely hard, trying to mix something up because I didn't see that much.
Right.
Once we came from the gutter, the bottom of the gutter at 7 years old, I wake up in Bedford Heights, Ohio, and it looked like I thought I was in another state, coming from 93rd and Anderson, which is down the way in Cleveland, the gutter.
Yeah. Yep.
So when you wake up in Bedford Heights, And you've been on the road and you don't know what, it's just like, you know what I mean? It's night and day. I went outside and this is my first time ever seeing real landscape. This is my first time a real meal was set on the table in front of me, real food, not just I'm waking up and I'm eating a box of old pie crust out the cabinet because I got to put something in me. You know what I mean? So once I'm seeing these things, and I never met a pops, you know what I mean? Mom's was never there, which is why they took us, because, you know, she would rather feed herself with the stone than feed the kids. I don't blame mom. She's still around. Missing teeth or not, I still want to see my mother smile, because I never took the things that I went through and used them as excuses to become a nothing.
Right.
I took the things that I went through and I used them as motivation to push me to a being unfathomable, because the type of pain and passion that I carry is unfathomable if you didn't experience that.
Right.
And that's what's dope, man. Because that, like I said, you get a lot of artists who don't really.
They don't convey it that well.
You know what I mean? And to hear that from you, one, you know what I'm saying, that survival mode, that grind, that hustle, man, that's a lot of things that I wouldn't say today's kids are missing, but the game ain't the same in some aspects. And I'm
but
not
when you
that
see it there, you'll understand how prevalent it is. That's what you're.
Right,
I get what you mean.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So it's like
when you see certain things in motion, you can tell. Like that's honestly why. You know, a big portion of the people that rock with me the way they do is because you can watch something, you can look through the screen and see my vulnerability. You could just see it on display. And a lot of people, of course, I understand ego and pride takes you a long way in the industry. I'm not acting like I'm oblivious to that, but at the same time, it's never going to get you connected to those people the way real emotion, vulnerability, and actual real life stories will. You can only paddock in 100,000 and million my bank account so much to the people before they tune out.
Yep.
Indeed. That is true. Speaking of working, man, I got to put this up here. One of my favorite people, man, my guy G Black, who's a local, I hate saying local rapper. One of my favorite rappers out of Akron, man. He loves your story, man, and he's also a dope rapper, man. He would love to work with you. I would like to put that together if y'all would like, man. Give you his information, send that along. I mean, he's one of the rappers he'll jump in your inbox, man. But I like
you love it. You love it.
Okay. So, I'm at this point, bro. I'm at this point. I overstand my purpose. I know it because as we spoke about, you know, a few minutes earlier, it's not coming out of Cleveland and getting not only just a name, but people that actually can acknowledge you and be like, I know this person, or I'm privy to that name, or Shuicide. That's something that sometimes I gotta sit back and take a breath and be like, you know, I'm really him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
It's coming to your zone. That's what it is. You recognize it.
This is Cleveland. Like, we talking about that pot. You know what I mean? This is definitely my hometown. I'm pushing for it to be a light that never burns out again. So it's like that whole region, the entire east side. Like, that's why I pushed the east side so heavy. You put the 3 up with the pointer finger back. Like, the east side could be the east side of Paris. Like, the east side from anywhere you're from. I'm from the lower east side, from the very bottom, man. And everywhere I go, if I put that 3 up, whether it's a show or if I'm on a freestyle, they know me from representing that, man. So whoever is a part of that, it's a movement. It's not just we against the West Side or nothing like that. But if you do know people who really follow hip hop and loved hip hop throughout the years, what was Nate Dogg and these guys constantly throwing out during these hooks?
Right.
West Side.
Right.
You never had no people come and really rep the East. So when I do get to whatever position I can see coming to fruition, it's not just about the East Side of Cleveland. This is the East Side of the whole U.S., the world. You know what I mean? So, everybody that's a part of that and want to be a part of that and push that forward, I'm for them. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Let's talk about what's going on in Shuicide, Holla, the new music group.
Let's get it.
Shuicide Music Group, man. Who are some of the artists that we need to look out for coming out of there?
Shuicide Music Group. Like, I've just really got my, you know, the people that's on the recipe. You got PFK, who are twins, and then you got One Way Vine. you can be on the lookout for them. Everyone else, and this is what's so beautiful about SMG. We're gonna take you back a little bit. When I went into the foster care, I was in foster care from age 7 to 18. So when I came out of foster care, it wasn't that my parents adopted me at 13. So it's not foster care. It's my family. I go in and out of Cleveland to this same family. This is my blood, even though I still have my other family. Mm-hmm. So when I left my family at 17, being insubordinate, being rebellious, thinking I need to get back to the real blood, not knowing how that would go, even though it went sour, but just thinking unconsciously, I need to get back to them. They've been missing me for 12 years. Yeah. Once I finally got back to that, I got around a couple of older cats that may have been considered family friends. Like my aunt had a boyfriend who was a rapper, and then he had a couple of guy friends. So when I got around and my family members were like, okay, we've heard of you. You've been missing all these years. You're back. Okay, what do you do? And then I get back at 18 and they're like, okay, this guy can rap. And they're already rappers. In their mind, it's like, okay, I'm upper 20s. I'm going into my 30s. It's almost time for me to hang it up. But this dude is dope and he ain't going to do nothing but grow. What they decided to do was become SMG and put all their resources into me. So the same guys that I was 18 living with an auntie who had a boyfriend that rapped, that would go to the studio every Friday when he get his check or whatever, and I would ride with and get on their tracks, and all these same guys are Shuicide Music Group. They understand who I am and what it is that I present.
They see it in you. They see it
exactly.
In you.
They saw it in me from 18 and they decided, you got to think, at 18, I didn't decide to become Shuicide Holla. It wasn't until 22 when I found out I had a daughter on the way. Mm-hmm. So many years had went by from them continuing to pursue their careers until I eventually said, you know what? I'm putting my pen to this pad today and I'm not stopping, which was, I remember it was yesterday, October 17th, 2011. I started writing and I never stopped.
That's what's up, man.
So once they was like, you know what? We're older cats. We know what it takes and we know that we don't have it. We got families. We got all these different things going on. He got it. We know for a fact he got it. So if I was to send you all any pictures or anything of SMG, you would see these guys that I came back to the hood at 18 and looked at them as the rappers. And they was looking at me like, no, you the one that got it.
How does that, now, at that age, man, how does that feel?
At that age, you got to think, honestly, to this day, I don't know what I look like. To this day, I still sit and be like, even with you all watching PSG, and you all are amongst 11.5 M more. I don't know what I look like to them. I don't know what I look like to the kids that love Hit Them Folks that made, you got to think, I went from working at Swage Lock to an idea, put it on it, recorded a song, put it on the internet. In 2 months, I was getting 10,000 videos a day of kids dancing to this song. I'm this guy that was working at Swage Lock. So I don't know what I look like to the people that take in what I do. I just understand that I have a purpose. I do know that when I do put things out there successful time after time, I've been consistent. So I understand that something's going on, but I can't see it the way people that are looking at me can.
But I'll tell you, that's the crazy thing about it. When you say something like that, because I've heard that before, and I've often felt that way. Like, you don't see what people see in you when they, you know what I'm saying, send you the videos or showing us support. You just feel like you appreciate it, but you like, I don't know why sometimes.
Yeah, I'm sure both of you have been. I'm sure both of you have gotten to the point where, because you all have been working on this platform. Obviously, you all invited me. I'm positive that it's gotten to the point where someone has congratulated you over. In your mind, it's like over, because you're thinking like, bro, what are you talking about? I don't know what you're saying that I do, because you all are doing it.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, it does feel weird.
So when I don't entertain those conversations, or one can't just be around me talking about what I do because it doesn't register. And not only that, but my humility just doesn't allow that. I don't even speak about myself.
I think that's the crazy thing, because a lot of people don't realize that if you're not talking about it, they think that you're not doing something. It
Yeah.
ain't that. It's just that I'm a humble guy.
You
Like,
know
I
what you're
appreciate,
doing.
like, yeah, like I see the accomplishments, but I don't have the wherewithal to just be beating on my chest all day long and be like, look at
Yeah,
what
like
I'm doing, look at me.
that's not really. I don't understand how that works. Of course, I get it. I see the guys. Hey, I did something good. Let me beat on my chest. I get it, but I don't understand how it works. Like I'm not done. Like I'm not nearly. I have so much more still to do. I'm just now getting to the crib so we can have a more relaxed conversation.
Oh,
But I got
you good.
Yeah.
I got so much more. Like the things that I do are so in the moment that like it's not. Don't get me wrong. I don't want to invalidate a supporter or tell them that wasn't fire or that wasn't dope. But I'm far from where I even see my finish. Like
You're still in the moment.
when you're a creative, like I'm sure you all are creatives as well. When you're a creative, you don't just see moment by moment. You don't just see, let me do something dope and then take in. You see an entire landscape and then you're just placing it as you go along, as the time goes
That's
along.
usually how it works.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
often have to stop myself and try to take in some of the moments, because if not, people don't feel like I'm in the moment. But when you're creating, I've had this conversation with other musicians too. It's like when you're creating, you're not thinking about the song, you're thinking about the next 3 songs, the next album.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
like
saying? You're
you're
already
working
working
on
on
a
the album,
lot.
but you're already thinking about the next album. You know what I'm saying? The next single, what the next visual
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
look
just
like for
trying to
the
get
song that
the
you ain't even
grind out.
did yet. You know
You're
what I'm saying? So
working
I
on so
understand that
much. Like
grind, and I can see the grind. You know what I'm saying? So it's the work ethic and the humbleness that I picked up on. That was that vibe. I was like, God, he gets it. You know what I mean? There's some rappers who got to tell you about everything that they do, every moment they do it.
nah, see,
And that's cool.
it's certain things. It's certain things that like honestly, like what PSG is doing is the first thing that's making me sit back and understand, like, it's not just the norm. That's what that's doing. Even though I've had the hit them folks and many more successes. Like I'm a kid that went from sitting in his driveway saying, you know what, I'm about to rap now, to hitting the Summer Jam stage, them reaching out to me within 4 years. So it's like a lot of things have been done, but I don't really see the benefit of sitting saying, hey, y'all know I did that. Look, even saying that right now feels weird.
Yeah, I was gonna say that probably gotta feel awkward, because
so
it's the pat on your back, patting yourself on the own back
like
kind of vibe. I can't do it.
It doesn't feel good. Like, even that's what I was saying. Like, even when other people congratulate you, I'm learning more now. I appreciate everything, and I don't never turn no one away, but it's not going to make me, it doesn't do anything up here, because what I'm doing is already what I'm doing. Like, I'm not going to change what I'm doing because a bunch of people told me this or that was a way. It doesn't work like that. I'm the creative. Therefore, I have to finish the landscape before I can take it in.
And that's a good analogy to have. Like, I can understand that, and I see where you're coming from. Summer Jam, how was that? But I mean, because I like to ask these questions. How was that?
Man, like when I did Summer Jam, like, you got to think that whole entire thing with the Hit Them Folks movement, it came so crazy that it blew my mind. But to go out there on a stage in front of 20,000 people, that's an experience that you can't even really put into words. But I will say, I would love if more people that I love could experience that, because I don't know how to explain it to you. Like, you got to think, I'm this guy who wasn't headlining shows, wasn't somebody that the city was championing in a certain light or anything like that. And then I get Summer Jam. You get what I'm saying?
It's a real moment.
And so when it's like I'm really stuck in the moment, and I'm going, it's weird. It's even weird explaining it to you all. I'm going out onto the stage because it's like I'm the person telling you about what I did. That's weird to me because I don't do it a lot. But
But
going out
that's
onto
why
this,
we asked the question. We try
going
to.
out onto this stage, like even the whole thing, like they had it set up where you get a room in the back room, so now you can see the Cavs arena. Like that was an amazing time. Like when even from Hit Them Folks going viral to hitting that Summer Jam stage, like these are times that I will never forget, man. But it only made me go harder because it was like it was a stamp to the landscape. It was just one thing. It wasn't something that made me think, oh, I did this or I did that. I don't know what I did. I just know it was something good, big at the moment. Now that I'm doing more of the planning shows, headlining, doing the packed grogs and doing all these, every time I come to the city, having 200-300 people pop out just for me, these are the things that are making me be like, okay, I can't really take for granted anything because I'm not just normal. So now that I'm able to take that in, yeah, I move a certain way. My energy is a certain way, but that Summer Jam, bro, like that was amazing. Like that was amazing. Like, and the funny thing about it though, now that we talk it is, I have family there that have never been, elsewhere.
So that's putting light on them to say, hey, look.
That's putting it into perspective.
Yeah.
That's more important than, I try not to utilize platforms in that way, but certain things need to be brought to the light because I'm not the only one that goes through them. So like I said, when I went back to the blood at 18, you would think, you've been gone 12 years, come through open arms. Things don't always go like that. It's still going to be the people that,
especially when you show, like you were saying, you have people already in your life who's been in the game, but maybe not to that level that you're going to, or that you're at, or that you've been at. And they look back and they say, yo, this little dude got something.
And if they can see it,
yeah,
that it used to weigh on me. Like, how come they can see it, but my blood can't?
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, it's all motivators. Cause I'm a person that understood, maybe this is where my drive come from, but I thought from the moment that you got to think, I never met a pops. They took us at 7 from my mom who was on drugs heavy. So you got to think, I never cried. I never did all these things. But what I did do was I put it into my head. In the gutter, we didn't know sports. We didn't know too many things because you go to the park, you hit somebody the wrong way, you got to fight. You got to do these different things. So we didn't really know too much. But when I got to this beautiful Bedford Heights landscape and was just like, okay, I got a clean slate, I just embedded in my head, I need to take care of my family. At 7 years old, I don't know what that would do to a kid. I'm not 7 anymore. Mm-hmm. But when you beating that into your head that you just came from a full family of, yeah, y'all not having nothing, but when you so close, you don't see it as a lack.
Yeah.
So when you embed it in your head, like, I got to do this for them, I need to get back and hurry up and become something for them. And then you get back and they don't even want you to have that. That's a whole different type of emotion.
Yeah, it's breaking that cycle of them seeing that being that cycle of despair. Of,
exactly.
Like, just having less than, or dealing with what you just have, and that's it. Not
exactly
breaking.
And I think it was the fact that, growing up in Bedford, I experienced a lot of different things from, summer camps and a lot of different things that really, helped expand my mind that I'm gonna take my children through. But everything has been it's just been a great, crazy journey outside of any type of, I don't even really pay attention to the negative. I don't see it. Like I see a lot of love. I see a lot of support in these times, and I'm only going to continue to do more things. I got plenty more coming up, but everything that I've done, I don't really sit and dwell too much. But when I do, I kind of take myself back and be like, be proud of yourself for that, because there's no one around that could just, make me feel a way about what I've done.
I think what it does,
and shouldn't.
Yeah, I think what it does is when you have those moments, when you take that step back and have a moment to kind of reflect, it sets the par for course. All right, what's the next step?
Exactly.
Like, when you're a creative, it's always what's the next step.
It's literally it's sleepless nights. It's it's a lot of different things, but it's in a good cause though, because
right.
you're creating, like you're literally. I would say as of lately, I've been finding myself appreciating the fact that I'm literally creating my reality. Like to really think that's when you're used to seeing, like yourself, you're from Cleveland, Ohio, like myself, when you're used to seeing everyone not creating their own reality, but not really having too much to the point where they're frustrated, so they're taking it out on everyone around them.
Mm-hmm.
When you're used to seeing that, it's kind of like a breath of fresh air to know that you're really creating a reality that may even help many more.
Right.
Because, you know, you can be, I will say this, once I moved out of Cleveland, hence I came with the project Out of the Barrel. It's never to shun my city in any sort of light or anything like that, but we have to speak. I've always been in reality. I have to keep it real because that's just how I move. I don't live in the past and I don't think too far ahead in the future. I just live right in the moment. So when I'm putting out these covers like Out of the Barrel and different things, these are really what I experienced. So when I'm in Cleveland, I do feel like I didn't reach my peak creative mode until I moved to Virginia, because I didn't have this person expecting or you writing your best and this person manipulating you into believing it. You know, I didn't have all of these boundaries.
It was
I didn't have award shows and I didn't have, you know, all these things. I could just come down here and create, you know, and ever since
it is still free.
It felt free. It felt like when I explain it to people, it's like when they say Kanye went to Wyoming.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of like when I explain to people, they say, you know, how does it feel living out of Cleveland? I say, it's like, think about when Kanye went to Wyoming and he was able to really get away and create freely. And that's when he went more towards the gospel. When I got down here, literally right before I got here, transitioning to moving out of Cleveland is when you're getting the pussy so good. I'm down here when I made the 55th and Hamlet, which was another one of my huge tracks. I'm down here with everything from 2018 up. So I've been here 4 years now.
Right. Would you say, because even in years past, Cleveland in Ohio, just in itself, has been a bit of a hub of music, but it's kind of gotten away from it a little bit. So it's just kind of like you feel like you're kind of leading. Well, yeah, you figure people like the OJs, just talent, period. Just not just music, but just talent, period. And having to, like you said, stepping out to see, okay, I'm
what it looks like.
From the outside looking in, or from the outside looking in and saying, okay, I've broken that ceiling. Let's do the next thing and help this out. Let's break that ceiling so everybody else can see, hey, this can be done. This can be done.
When you're in the mix, like that's why, like I'm gonna make sure I send you all the cover for Out of the Barrel, which is I've been connected with a guy from the UK. He's been doing my cover art since 2014. I email him in-depth descriptions of what I want, and he'll send back. So when I send you all the cover art for Out of the Barrel, you'll see me representing coming out of a barrel. And the reason that it's so prevalent what you're saying is because once I finally stepped out and was able to look in and see the way that the city is moving, I now understand why some things didn't move. I now understand why we haven't had humongous stars since such and such. I understand more and more things because I could see how the system is working. Outside, though, when I was inside, I was part of the system.
Right.
So now that once I got outside and I was able to look and say, okay, it puts me in two mind states. It puts me in a mind state of I know what to do to help that person, but also at the same time, I still got more that I need to do to help the whole.
Right.
Because I can't just sit and focus. One thing I've learned about sitting and focusing on putting my energy into one-on-one entities is that due to me learning the way the city works, you can't do that because, like we said, everybody doesn't have humility. So they're not looking at what you're doing as a help that they need to reciprocate. They're looking at it as you're giving me your energy.
Yeah.
And as long as you keep giving, I'll gladly take, but I don't know how to give it back to you because I don't even know what it is you have. I'm a part of this system called Cleveland, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta get out of that mentality. Oh, hold that thought for 1 second. We got one more guest we're gonna bring into the conversation, man.
That's cool.
Author Prentice Johnson. What's going on, sir?
What's happening?
Hey, how you guys doing, man?
All right.
How's it going?
Great day, Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Oh yeah, you home with Prince, you close to the city. So man, real quick, man, talk to the people, tell them what you do. I need to try to get some things figured out, so I'm gonna let y'all talk for a second. Go ahead, Prince, man, talk to the people.
Yes, sir. I'm a marketer. Looking to really start several different organizations. Writer at heart, love entertainment, especially comedy. Got a roast group right now called Roast Box. Anybody that is in the comedy, writing, drama is welcome to join, especially for head-to-head roast. Just did an audition for Roast Me, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
The roast joint. They be roasting people. They be going in on people.
Like the comedy club, like roast comedy club, like
Yeah.
Yes. We're in it to have some fun. My main objective is to diminish hate. That's a mission. But I love ad-lib. So when it comes to my writing and stuff like that, I'm doing comedic videos, dramatic type short skits. Roastbox is a great help for that.
So what got you into that? What got you started on that?
Oh man, it was a thing that we did when we were young, man. Roast was just something that we did. I was a part of a group where we were salespeople. It's where I got my entrepreneurial spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were selling candy and stuff like that. We had a large group, and we would get on the van 3 years of selling. I was top sellers. We would just get in a group, well, not only gamble, what I'm saying, but hit each other a little bit, what I'm saying, having fun,
Okay.
So what is it about? Well, obviously we've all come up in some form in the hood and stuff. And when you say roast, I think of your mama jokes, or the dozens. That's just this is how you get down.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's how you get down. This is how you have fun. It's how you build tough skin. So you can pride yourself as you get older to be like, I can talk trash amongst the best of them, and I can laugh at myself at the same time. It's good that that's when you have that ability to do that. That's what makes it fun. You go back. I mean, you see it with like known comedians all the time when they do tours. They backstage in the green rooms and they just telling each other these jokes and just, hey, check this out. Boom, 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 boom. Yo, that's funny. That type of vibe. So I like that you have something like that.
Yes.
Now you're in Minnesota, you said, right?
Yes, sir. Minneapolis, Minnesota.
What's the comedy circuit like there in Minnesota?
It's gradual. Entertainment period is gradual here, man. I like to say that I'm glad that it's here.
Mm-hmm.
We've had some of the best, but it's not like other cities, man. Man, our Chicago's, our I want to say large cities in California, New York, even the South, man, it's not exactly the same here.
Mm-hmm.
So, as most of us grew up on hip hop, even the comedy circuit, I mean, it's here. Brothers come through. It wouldn't just be as much. You know what I mean? Especially during an economy like this, our market really isn't receiving the income.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I was going to say, how does the dynamic for that? I mean, considering the fact that the majority of the country is coming out the pandemic, how does the dynamic for that type of venue starts to change? How do you get, I don't know, quote unquote, back to normal? How do you start finding other ways to keep it going, or find a different venue, or find a different avenue to kind of express all that, to kind of get that out there? What do you do?
I'm trying myself to find a pivot, man, to enter. You know what I'm saying? And I'm using roast to do so. It's not something that everybody does.
Mm-hmm.
However, it is something that is flourishing. You know, if you take the greatest hip hop mogul of all time, who owns Roast Me, you know what I'm saying? And in comparison, you find, okay, they're in position.
Mm-hmm.
The next big boom is about to happen.
Right, right.
Get yourself in position. Start communicating in the right areas. Find out what it is you can do. You know what I'm saying? And that's what you do. Find a great, for me it would be, if I was talking to a young individual, take an aspect that you're good at, and that's just about with anything in relation. Uh, Relate it to your personality and utilize it, man. Find a pivot and run. You know what I'm saying? If you have to come back to the pivot, it's all good. You know.
That's, yeah. I think what a lot of people, and me and DC have talked about it in great length several times since we been doing our shows, is that if 2020 taught us anything, is just that, is learning how to get up off your ass and kind of make the pivot. Like, there's a way to do it, you know, and having to turn that around and make it right. And for some, it's for all, it's difficult. For some, they've managed to pivot quite well. You know, they found a different avenue, they found a different field, and they was like, hey, this is working fantastic. You know, so when things do kind of come back to normal, or to the new normal, not only will we have the pivot avenue, we got the new normal to work it off, of it. You know, we talked about how, like, comic book conventions, we do comic book conventions on my show, and there was a way, you know, everybody was going virtual, you know, podcasts, virtual conventions, some kind of way. You have people like D Nice doing DJ sets on Instagram, you know, Mad Skills doing Instagram sets.
Yeah, I remember that joint.
You know, verses coming along and everything else. So
Yeah.
there was a pivot, and it worked because it was like, okay, people are stuck at home. What do we do? Like, people are tired of looking at TV. People are tired of hearing their kids running around all day. You know, how do we release? Where do we
when you
find
got
the
you got your creative stance, you know, you look for avenues that are segments within the same thing, and you just push it. And let me tell you right now, what you said to me, man, the type of conventions that you guys would put together, man, would be lovely, lovely, for a pivot, for a creative standpoint, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a
They
lot
had two
right now, y'all.
WrestleManias back to back.
Would you tell them about? Because I want to talk about the economy, man. Would you tell them about the metaverse, man?
Oh, metaverse. This is something new because it's fairly new. I'm just learning it myself. It seems a little off. It seems a little weird. It seems like a little something different.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I need to jump back in here for a second.
Go ahead.
My bad, y'all. I need to apologize. Having technical difficulties. Like I said, the devil don't want to be great this week. But I just need to first say I appreciate y'all for coming on. Getting back to everything. The roast me thing, I know what you're talking about. I've seen a lot of people, Patrick, Cloud, and them all. That's them. So
Yes,
I wanted to kind of redirect that, so
Yes.
people understood what you were talking about when you said it roast me. Craig Smith, all those guys, the whole entourage that rolls with CT, Kev on stage, all them guys do that roast me thing. So that's what
Craig
that's
Smith,
about.
you know, man, David Lucas. He was the first person to come and help me out at Rose Fox, man. Much love to David. Boo Capone, man. You know, I love Boo. Man, there's a lot of people, man, you know, showing love, man. Some of the females coming. I mean, yes, and they provide a great standpoint, man. The practice, and then the way that they present it in a classroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's where we started. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
They tapped
keep
into
in mind.
something.
Yes, sir. Let's keep in mind, though, no means no. I mean, no means no in the classroom. Okay,
Right.
Oh, yeah, okay. I'm about to say, wait a minute.
yeah, man.
I don't have
Hey,
my
you
mic
know,
wasn't not working.
yeah, you might find yourself getting willy slapped. You know,
That's
no
funny.
means no, man. But it's a way to project creativity, man, hands down. And when 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people are getting together, you can't do nothing but love each other through the turmoil, man. You know, as you're growing up, the abuse, man. Because let's just be honest, man. So some of these things that we go through, man, stop us. But if we can condition our mind to get through it, use comedic comedic projection to do so, we go much further, man.
So I want to ask you guys a question because as we talked about earlier, suicide with the not I just forgot his name. Oh my god, I'm having
Turning
like I said, I'm
that
having a
pain into
brain
power,
fart here.
basically.
No,
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah.
video. There was the comedic element to it.
Oh yeah, you talking about the Not Today, John?
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
was just about to say not today, but for some reason it didn't register with me. I said the technical difficulties throwing me off. I'm usually way more prepared than this. But no, man, I want to talk about that because I see the level of comedic in that. And somebody always asks me like, "Am I a comedian?" And I tell them no, because being a comedian is the hardest thing ever, and I commend people who do that, man. Just to be able to write rappers, comedians, and people who write like movie scripts, I commend the hell out of y'all because I
Yeah.
cannot sit down and write anything for like a long period of time without feeling like, what the fuck?
Right, right.
I gotta say, man, writers, I envy y'all because my ADHD don't let me sit down and write shit. Like I can't take tests right now. But
I know what you mean.
I was gonna ask a question and see my ADHD just took me away from all that. No, the process between writing raps and writing like skits, I see parallels. But what are some of the things that help you guys get to that point of I'm gonna sit down and take 20 minutes or however long it takes. First, how long does it usually take? As far as just like scripting this out, the raps. Because like I said, I don't have the time. My shit is like
Well, when you I'll give you my answer, and I'm sure his answer may be different. When you've been writing records for a while, in anything you do, you learn over time to work smarter instead of harder. So just naturally with me writing so many songs and being a creative in general, with songs like Pussy So Good and Not Today and different songs, I was writing to what I was seeing. So the visual was just me basically taking away the lyrics and just putting what I saw. So like a Not Today or something, like as I'm writing it, I'm already seeing like you got to think, how many times do we randomly go throughout our day and think about a movie or just like a scene from a movie just be in your head that you just can't get the joint off your head, just any movie.
And just repeating the lyrics.
That joint might just be repeating.
The script, man, like on Friday.
And that's embedding something, and either we're going to use it or we're just going to laugh at it every now and then. So when I'm seeing all the time Day randomly, I'm seeing Day on my head with the stocking cap hanging off and he getting drowned with water, I'm thinking, I've never seen this in real life. Like I've never seen nobody. Why don't I do it?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm not going, if I don't want to just keep thinking about it, yeah, like different. So like certain songs, it comes to you, but when it, I don't know. Personally, I've never had an issue with writing the visual because I knew if I'm writing a certain record and I know that like in my mind it's creatively dope and I think the people are going to take it as pretty good, I'm already, you know, creating the way I want them to see it as well.
Let me say this. I say, you know, writing is a general word. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my man, he does different types, different style of writing. It's rap art versus video, probably. You know what I'm saying? I myself, I got a general thought process for writing. So and writing includes the literary, it includes the music, composition, it includes actual graphic design and video, you know, all the way to aspects of programming. So this is something that we need to understand when we start talking about writing to begin. And then
Right.
when you ask a question, a great question, a gentleman like myself and the gentleman here, you know, we have a focus because there's a love there. You
Right.
know, if you love what you're doing, you're gonna reach for that perfection. You know, um, all literal sense, um, acting. You know, and you start taking these other things that are involved in the writing. You start messing with that music.
I think when you're the way you're tying it in is kind of like something that I've understood unconsciously where I just never put it in words, because you're right. Once you're doing writing, and then once you're not only doing the lyrics, but you're writing the visual, and then you're actually seeing the way that this going to be portrayed on the visual, you can actually put yourself in the part to know how it's supposed to be acted. So it's like it all kind of ties in some sort of way. Like writing, I never went to pursue acting, but since I became a writer, I'm like one of the best actors that the cameraman that I utilize know. But I never, you know, went into acting.
Yes, sir. Yes,
In a way,
sir.
you are though, because
Yeah.
I've seen your videos, and there's
You get
a
what I'm
lot
saying?
that,
So it's like
yeah.
I never practiced none of that.
But yeah,
and
but in the same time, that
that's
formula
the
seems
beauty
like
of
it's
talent.
That's what I'm
almost
saying. It all
That's
ties
the
in. Like
beauty
he
of
was saying,
talent.
the writing ties into the production, which ties into the visualization, like all it, and then all of this ties in somehow. I never really set to think how, but I've definitely thought I could go on acting later on in visuals, but you got to think, I never thought that I need to go to acting school. I just became great at writing.
Yeah, I mean, when you mentioned like with Not Today, the whole layout of Not Today, which, like you said, the movie plays out and everybody's seen the Friday series,
Right.
Everybody, so they know these. So when they see these scenes that you're doing in Not Today, it's playing back in their head. And then, like you said, Prentice Johnson, when they did the roast me joints, and it's in a classroom setting, we've all seen that. We've all been there. We know what that feels like. So it's just kind of like it's replaying in our head. It's putting you back there.
That familiarity is what you know. That's what a lot of people grab onto when they trying to relate to someone. You know what I mean?
It's a great formula.
You start teaching yourself. You start teaching yourself. So you know, and you know, I remember what it was like to start forming creative aspect and really putting value and worth and claim on my own copyright. You know what I mean? Like, you know, oh man, you know, seems like my projection is much like another person's. How do I separate it? You know, start putting degrees of separation. How do I put degrees of separate? Well, write 6 different words, and then you know, try to relate it to a particular story, but say it differently, and you know those types of things. So yes, man, it's a concentration factor of a factor. And you must keep in mind that it takes practice, man, and you will teach yourself if that's what you want to do. You're not going to get all the information from school. You graduate, get that, get that 6-year degree. You're not going to get all the information from school. It's there for you to teach you to understand the past, you know. But reality, man, reality is your best teacher.
Yeah, taking that step is definitely important. I think it sparks something in the mind
And, you know, it becomes a hunger, you know, like he said, when you love it, it becomes like, okay, if I did that, what else, you know, what else can I do?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So for me, like it started with just writing. At the age of about 23, and I was writing all kinds of stuff at the time, man. I was doing roasts. I recorded a whole bunch of different roasts. Started doing compositions, which I still have. Um, and then tried to write my first book, man. And my first book, Less Than One, still have a love for it today. Still want to use it for other things. Um, Taught me a lot, though, you know, and that's where reality starts hitting you. You complete it in your own mind, but what's the perfection, right?
Right.
Now you're looking for perfection. Oh, that was perfect for me, man. You know, can't nobody tell you nothing type stuff, right? You go ahead. You're able to go ahead and get it in the stores, right? But now you go back and look at it, and you know, there's a lot of edits that need to be done.
Yeah. See, that's
You
why
know,
I'm
you're
at it,
going over
man.
your
I
music in the same
appreciate y'all.
fashion. You know,
Chronological orders. When it comes to writing, what I've learned that when it comes to writing books, I have friends in the past that have written books and things, and they've told me, you know, I just wrote one big joint, but I had somebody else put it in chronological order or whatever the case. So I do understand, because I have not personally taken the chance to go towards books because of, maybe it's because of the amount of writing I've done when it comes to music. I understand the strenuousness. I mean, how strenuous it will be, and then how in depth I would want to go. And that maybe has kept me like a healthy fear away from writing books. But I do know eventually I will end up heading there.
I
it's
can't
a
write books because I got dyslexia and ADHD. So I commend y'all for being writers, man. That's some
When you
tough
sit
shit.
there, when you got to think, I'm a fan of. I'm somebody, like I was telling you all earlier. I came up about 13 is when I started falling into music and just creativity in general. So at the same time, I'm falling into music. I'm falling into tell you all a funny story. As a foster kid, I wasn't perfect, but my parents, I had a mom and two sisters, and they didn't know how to be men mean. So what my mother would do was, okay, you doing bad, you gonna walk to the library, which is probably like a 3 mile walk. You're gonna walk to the
mm,
library and you're gonna read books. So
mm,
me unconsciously being smart in a sense, like I'm gonna just be smart since I want to be rebellious or whatever. I was going to the library like, okay, I don't want to keep doing this walk. Let me get the biggest books. Unconsciously, I took home the J.K. Rowling novels and the Lord of the Rings and all these novels, and I ingested them, and it changed my whole mind.
yeah.
So I'm looking at writing like from the story of a J.K. Rowling, who I had to go get the backstory, or the person who created Lord of the Rings. You got to think, I read every single book before the movies
Yeah.
came out. So I'm going into the theaters ingesting these already knowing that I've read it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you got to think, as a 13-year-old kid getting into creativity, and I'm seeing there's a lady that came from dirt nothing, taking drugs in an alleyway, that made billions off of a book, and that's just the business part of it. But the simple fact that she was able to compartmentalize all these characters, it blows my mind to this day.
Yeah. And to speak on that, man, because both of you guys are on that creative side, so both of you guys know that that um that fine line you have to walk between being crazy insane sometimes to other people.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
now
when you
now
try,
it's crazy that you asked that, because when I sit and look at, you know, the Harry Potters and things like that, it does take my mind there. It makes me wonder, okay, you couldn't just walk up to someone and say this stuff.
Right. So
Because
it's
someone's gonna
hard
be
to
like,
articulate this type of emotion. I remember a book I was reading one time, and when I was reading it, I was like, man, Harry Potter, are you kidding me? I'm seeing a broomstick
yeah,
and
like
it's
how?
flying in the
That
air.
exactly
I
what
can't
he's
be,
saying.
Yeah, I can't even be imagining what this man is saying.
So
And then the
and
movie came out.
and that's where I was going, because imagine as a person who creates, because you guys are in that space, and sometimes you go to your non-creative friends and you give them this vision that you have, and they give you this look like you high.
That's what I mean, because that's what I was answering the first time, because I'm positive you can't just walk up to a person and say, I
Yeah.
got a Harry Potter and I got a Draco Malfoy and I got a Hermione and I got a Dobby and I got people are gonna be like, are you on acid or something? So I get it,
Yeah.
because at the same
Right.
time she was altering her mind, but at the same time, I haven't gone super far with the drug, anything besides cannabis. I haven't thought of going anywhere further, but I do know now that I'm a creative that a lot of these people had to alter their minds, because in order to even have the confidence to write down what you're thinking of in the altered mind state, you got to be off of something that's taking that thought away from you, that you're even in an altered mind state.
Which
Yo,
is crazy.
that's a great thought, man. It just what
Yeah.
you're saying right now. There is a genius that wrote an insert, man, of this like a dissertation of some kind, and literally it reminds me of that thought where he says, think of the fact that without ability to articulate, without the words to be able to explain, you're not able to explain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
somebody just has to interpret.
Right. And I mean, wow, it's a deep thought, man. Because they're
But
now going
like you
into,
was saying, man, to read those books and have the books, like it was like the books were movies. Like it was like
Yeah.
you could rewatch the books. Like I don't get it.
mm,
It's that's what I think is the trick to it, because it's like reading them. I'm thinking I'm being smart to my mind. I'm gonna get the fat books, but I literally just fell into these, like, and went back and was like, what's
oh,
some more big ones? Fell into the Lord of the Rings. So you got to think at the same time the movies is following them.
yeah.
I'm in that age where I went with Harry Potter from 6th grade to the last Deathly Hallows.
What? Come on,
So
man.
so
Did
you
you
got to
read
think
those
like,
books?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Once I went to the library, I
Oh,
read all the books back to back to back because I was on punishment. I couldn't go outside or do anything. So by the time I'm in 6th grade, 13, my sister is like talking
bro,
about this
you tell
new
them,
craze that's coming on TV.
man.
The movies are coming out. I want to take you to the movies to see this Harry Potter stuff, not knowing this is what I've been reading on punishment.
Come on, man. Then hold on. Then would you say it for me, man? Then was it punishment, man?
No, that wasn't no punishment.
The discipline. Man.
Nah,
That
it
Woo.
just
wasn't no
opens your
punishment.
mind. It just
That
opens your
stuff
mind to some other stuff.
Mm.
I attribute that in underground hip hop from the big L's and different guys to even the
Yeah,
creative I am right now. Like
I'm
yeah.
so glad you mentioned
the
his name.
the
So now that
music
everybody knows.
the music would have had me one way, but I think the
Mhm.
creativity of J.K. Rowling and those are what made me become the artist that I am. Because I'm gonna be a lyricist. I'm gonna go down as a lyricist, but now I'm a creative.
Yeah.
Mm.
And
Now
you're the first
I don't
person
mind
I've ever
having a
had say that.
what was that? I'm sorry.
You're the first person I've ever heard say something like that.
Yeah,
Let me say
Yeah.
this. Let me say this. Why you guys are talking about that, so we don't get off that subject of discipline. Now that
uh-huh.
was one of the things that I thought of. Like in my book, my new book, A Leap in the Fall, coming up with answers. Not only is this book a great answer to offer reparations to the former slave, but there's a lot of answers in the book. For instance, what you were just speaking of for discipline, instead of the way that we've carried on the slave master's mentality to beat the individual out of their memory, you're giving them a book and you telling them to hold it over their head. Hold that book and stand in the corner and tell me what you did wrong. And when you are able to articulate what you did wrong, then come on out the corner,
Right.
Type thing,
And
and
they interpreting that wrong. I feel like, maybe a lot of youth interpreted that as this book is punishment instead of, attempting to dive into that joint. We wasn't, who did we have over us saying maybe you should open that up?
yes, sir.
Right.
Nobody. Which is crazy,
Oh.
man. It's crazy that I've never heard a rapper say Harry Potter made me a good rapper. Like, that's not the sentence that you really hear. And I'm not even trying to be funny. You know what I mean? Like,
it's more of the creator of the entire series, because
that's what I mean.
like it's the create. It's you know what it is. It's not even really. Let's just erase Harry Potter for a second, for an example. Let's take J.K. Rowling and place us in front of us. It's more the simple fact that there's someone that motivated me to go further than what I could do surface level, simply because they weren't afraid to do it. I was young when I took that
creativity is what I'm taking from that. Like, those books and her way of writing helped you unlock your creativity.
Yeah.
Which is what I was trying. Like, I've never heard. Some people get
Lord of the Rings as well.
Yeah, so that's not. I'm not saying like that's a weird. That's just a different take on.
It's different.
You know what I mean?
It's different.
Everybody has different ways of unlocking their creativity or where they get that inspiration to take those chances. But the fact that you took those chances and are taking those chances is what I want to point out. You know what I mean? That both of you, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not standing in the room letting nobody roast me, because I don't know how to not talk back.
I would listen. At this point, I know who I am as a person. I not only did the proper work and studies behind pursuing music and getting into that creative lane, but I did the work on myself. You got to think, before Mr. Johnson came in, I told you all about my upbringing. When you go through something like that, you have to face it and deal with that trauma and heal, or you will forever take that circumstance and let it consume you, and you will be that way to everyone around you. So obviously, with me being the opposite of that beacon of light, I had to learn and find myself. So with that being said, I can go on any platform with the same amount of creativity I got out, with more that I'm going to add, and say with the biggest chest, you know what I mean? J.K. Rowling. I don't have no gripe about it, because nobody can take away from what it is that I've done or what it is that I'm going to continue to do. And J.K. Rowling had it. Why would I shun her for some people that don't matter?
Hey, brother, I'm all about, man. That's the truth, man.
Yeah,
I'm all about speaking your truth.
Yeah, we got to,
take
man.
That reality and give it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? And that's our responsibility, man. We're in a new generation. Okay, Generation X, Generation Y, Millennials, man, Generation Z, man, it's our turn, man, to take over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So all that punishment and all that kind of stuff, all the discipline, to learn from it.
Be who we have to be in these times. We have to be who it is that we needed.
Be yourself. That's what this is all about. I like that. Like I said, I wasn't trying, like, I wasn't, there was no fun. I dig that you came out with that, because not a lot of people would share that. Like I said, with a lot of people you talk to, they give you their representative. This show is not for representatives. This show is for
understand this as well. A lot of people who go into creative lanes, they're just really doing surface level things because they don't know themselves. And to go look inside is a kind of a hurtful thing. It's insight.
Oh, it's a scary
It's having
thing.
self-awareness.
Yeah.
So if half of the people don't really want to go look inside, they just want to rap surface level. Of course, once it's time to answer questions about it, they're going to give you the robot chicken answer, because it's the easiest way to get to the next question.
It's deep, man.
I like to follow up.
It's deep, man. You got to reach your abuse to keep your memory, man.
You have to.
You got to learn.
I don't forget one day. I don't forget one day of my life. I remember everything back to about age 4.
Yeah, man. A rap artist, man. a good rap artist, when they put it out there, man, they are making you see
Mm-hmm.
what's necessary, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
They're giving you that visual, and it's best
Exactly.
for us to learn from it, man. I'm telling you, the best thing is the offering of the story, so you don't have to go back to it.
Exactly. I
Right.
I
You
try to
know?
explain that to many more because a lot of people ask me, okay, when you went through something how are you okay? Well, I've been telling you all my story for 10 years now.
This is your therapy.
I
This is
didn't just
basically your
I
therapy.
didn't just make up the stuff that y'all was listening to. I told you
Man,
all earlier that it's hard for me to make up things. So it's always been more settling to just tell you what I've been going through or what I know. So like you said, I've been giving you all my story. So it's out. What else do I have bottled up? Of course, I'm going to continue to create more. When you
Oh
remember
yeah.
everything back to a specific age, what a lot of artists don't understand about creativity because they haven't gotten to the realm of a creative is, I mean, with a lot of rappers, it's a difference between a rapper and an artist. When you're just putting together
Mm-hmm.
words, you can get very dope at that still. But once
mm,
you tapping into creativity, you can go back on any day. Any day of your life is a whole entire record. One day.
put them degrees of separation in there. You reach
You
that perfection. Now, once you reach a perfection and the delivery, now I'm reaching for my market. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Who's my
whatever it is
network?
that you want to talk about that happened on whatever that day was,
Yes.
that's a 50-50 Hamlet. I literally I sat back and was like, okay, this is a street that I was on. I was over there handling some business, and it was for a short period of time. Whole record, one of my
Yes.
biggest songs. And in the lyrics, creatively telling what I was over there doing. And it's stuff like that you sit back and really look back at it, and I can interpret it like a Harry Potter book. But when you're doing it, you're not thinking you're writing this book.
Mhm.
My gang,
No.
my gangster's not coming out in my writing. You know what I'm saying?
Like it's
The hardcore, my hardcore gangsters, my rap artists. Mine in my music, I'm a lover. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different, but it's the same mentality. You still got to tell a story, man.
right.
Yes, I'm with you on it, man.
That's the best. That's the best. Like when you I would say like most of the artists that really influence people or hold people for generations are the great storytellers, the Slick Ricks, the Big
Mm-hmm.
L's, the Jay
Mm,
Z's, the Nas's.
Yes, sir.
So
man, Slick
Mhm.
Rick, man, Jay-Z, man. Yeah, man.
It's
Now,
funny. I'm glad you mentioned him, Suicide. I'm glad you mentioned Big L because not a lot of people, you know,
it
one
was so quick.
cut down before his time, but he was
Too
making
quick.
such noise in the
When
circuit.
you gotta like when that type of music, understand, like I was saying, like a lot of that music grabbed me because I had just come from, the roaches, the no food and all these things. So a Big L was sort of like a niche, like even back then when that wasn't even really a popular thing to say that somebody is a niche artist. When you was listening to Big L, you was not only getting a dope cadence, but you was getting more of the ruggedness, like more than what Pac or Biggie would give you, because he was
Hmm.
like, I got the gun in hand. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do while it's here. Like, and we're gonna talk about what happened on this day when we was rolling dice. Like Biggie and these guys were great story writers as well, but Big L was like the uncut version.
Yeah. Yeah.
listen, I'm an elder, man. So I'm approaching 50. All right. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm from Minnesota. Not too many people knew about Big L. All
Yeah.
right. So to me, it's like to hear you guys talking about Big L. Where are you from?
Man,
Where
that's a crazy question.
Ohio.
Like I was telling them when I fell into music at about 13, what the CDs that hit my desk was 50 Cent before he was Get Rich Die Trying. This was chubby 50 Cent mixtape, Kill Everybody on a Record 50 Cent. That hit my desk. Swisher House, which was Texas, that hit my desk. And Big L. And then there was a more like the people that I consider that was more Big L's. I'll name them. Graf was out of Queens. There was Straws. He
Mhm.
was from D Block. You had D Block themselves, which was J Hood. You had Jay the Kiss and these guys. that style of music with the beats, it was just dirty.
It was
And
guttural.
I'm like,
New York,
I was
man.
listening to
Gritty.
radio. I was listening to radio, and I'm like, this not it, because that's way too clean. I don't know that.
Mhm.
I came from no parents, no food, roaches next to your bed, and y'all huddled up, fending for yourself, going outside, and it's a jungle every day. I need this dirty stuff. So that it grabbed right onto me. Like as soon as I heard Big L, Ebonics, Gamble with Snake, the dice was mad packed, mad cats pockets was back. We playing CeeLo. My dick get hard when I see though. Like when I'm hearing this stuff, it's like I've never heard this style of rap.
Tell me what's really going on. You know, I don't need to hear about your vehicle all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm on it, man, and that's the reality of the situation. You know,
like that stuff is real, man.
From that type of stuff, it doesn't necessarily have to be bugs, but I am one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the dude that actually opened the cabinet and the white roach had to show itself because we're all here. You know what I'm saying? We're all in this predicament.
White roach?
That white roach mean that you got like 1 million of them joints in your crib.
Damn,
this
is here to stay.
Either it's 1 million or 100,000. I can't remember, but like you got to think, man.
You had a queen running around.
Man, on 93rd and Anderson, man. Like that joint was the jungle, dog. Like the jungle. Like even to this day, like you can go look up that area, man. That area ain't no place to just be kicking it. You know what I mean?
You know what I hated about roaches? Before we get up out of here, man, them motherfuckers knew when to come out.
As soon as the lights go off.
Like, you ever had company over and some motherfucker, you see that motherfucker, but don't nobody else see it first?
Yeah, you funny, man. That's funny. I had a guy, one of the first guys I was recording music at, he had them joints at the crib, man.
Yeah.
You find the most creative ways to knock them motherfuckers down off the wall and shit. It was like, what you do? I'm like, oh, nothing, man.
Man, that's when you became friendly with him.
Shoot that motherfucker over there or something.
Yeah, man. I took my boy to the zoo. I took my son to the zoo yesterday. They had the Madagascan joints. I was like, yo, that joint took me back. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool, man. I'm glad we're getting away from that.
Texas, them motherfuckers fly.
Yeah, the water bugs.
You had to have a bat for them motherfuckers, man. They come on the plate, man, and they look like somebody's hand is moving up the plate, man.
Come on, man.
Yeah, the ones that just walk slow, like they ain't got no worry at all. I
got a weird creep, man. I'm glad I moved out of them days, man. Living better now. Ain't too much better. I gotta wait for them motherfuckers. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, that's what you gotta get to. Boys now, though, man. Don't be sitting at the crib with roaches, man. Go get you something. Get rid of them. You ain't gotta call the exterminator for that no more, man.
Oh, the
you gotta have the raid bombs, man. Y'all remember the raid bombs?
No, you just gotta set that house on fire and get a new one. That's what you gotta do. Fuck that, nigga.
I think the roaches had I think evolution came. Like I think the roaches was like mid to like late 90s, and I think when 2000s hit it like the bed bugs was the roaches, like the new roaches.
Mm-hmm. But them motherfuckers can survive a nuclear bomb. You mean to tell me I'm supposed to just hit them niggas with a raid bomb? Fuck that. Them niggas.
Them niggas. All I know is bugs in general, B. We cool, man. We cool on the bugs, B.
Look. Hold on, though. Before you go, look in the suburbs and then find that they got stripes on them.
Who?
Fox elder bugs, looking just like roaches. You can find them outside or inside.
I ain't here.
Cool. I'm believing where they at, B. No, they don't bother me.
You stay over there.
He said they got stripes on them. You know what them stripes is? I mean, they done went and caught some bodies.
Yeah, that's the generals right there.
Them bugs done went and caught some bodies. Killmonger roaches that them was.
Did I just leave the roaches, man? Did I just leave the roaches?
Here's my nature take. Leave nature alone. If it don't bother me, I don't bother it.
Man,
That's how I feel.
Okay. You
There's
know, we
motherfuckers
still
out
on
here
the
with
schedule.
panthers who can't feed them motherfuckers, and they get loose to eat the neighbor's dog, and then they will be like,
Pet
"Well,
Panther,
I
golly.
didn't know that was gonna happen, nigga. You took a whole wild cat to the suburbs, and you
A
thought that
pet
motherfucker was just gonna
panther.
be cool on caviar and steak, nigga? No.
We
Bro,
here too.
down here where I'm at, man, you could go see like what, how big is they? They probably, y'all ever seen a Mastiff?
Yeah.
Imagine a skinny Mastiff. They got them coyotes. They just walk into people's, like where I live in Virginia, like in the front yards, they got sewage drains that look like little tunnels. Like you would literally just see them joints coming, like they almost walking up out of it.
I'm
Oh, that's
good.
the
That's
cut.
the day.
That's
The
just
day
the cut.
I see one of them motherfuckers move out there, I'm moving out there.
Man, I seen one of them. I was paranoid the first time I seen one. I was paranoid for a while because I'm like, if these is running around, I'm cool. It looked like a wolf.
Good.
It looked like a wolf.
Good. I'm cool on that. I see coyotes and wolves.
It was as tall. It was as tall as a mastiff, but it was skinny.
Yeah, that
And,
was
they,
okay.
and them motherfuckers eat chicken, dogs, and kids.
And like
I'm
it was
cool.
scraggly. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm cool, man.
Yeah,
This
that's
joint
the
is.
one. That's
All
the
the
one.
coyotes
That's the one. They
had
hungry.
is
They don't care
chicken.
what's going down. They
It
don't care where
it
they at.
damn near looked like this coyote could get on his back legs and just walk around. I was like, yo, what? Where am I at?
Ain't in Kansas no more, man. I'm good.
As long as you
They
ain't
don't got nothing like that. But we don't got skunks. We don't have skunks or deer. But we switch those with snakes, coyotes, and rats in
Oh,
Virginia.
I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I'll take a deer and a
I'll take
skunk
the
any
skunk.
day.
Yeah, I'll take the deer and skunk.
Any day.
Deer and skunk. I
Don't
ain't got
care
time.
what
That's
motherfucker
too
you
much. That's
good.
too much battle.
Man, I
I
might
can't deal
eat
with
you.
all of that.
What you?
But where I'm
Yeah,
from, man, there was deer, man, straight up.
Yeah, in Bedford, where I'm from, up in Cleveland, yeah, deer and skunk.
Yeah,
but down
deer
here in
and skunk.
VA, whole new package. They got black. They got black widows, brown wreck. They got what you name down here. It's a smorgasbord.
Yeah, they
I'm
approaching
good.
the
That sounds
moose.
like Australia. You can have that, brother. I'm good. Two places I ain't going.
man.
Two places to cross off the list: Virginia and Australia. I'll never go. Have you
Yeah,
ever seen
man.
like Google in your spare time like Australian creatures? These niggas got upside down
have
Batman and shit. Big
Right.
dumb
Yeah, I'm
ass
cool. I'm
stuff.
cool on certain areas for real too.
Those bats they got, you be like, that can't be real. That can't
Them
be
nigga
real.
bats.
Because how people just living?
Like
I
if
can't
the
do it.
wingspan on that thing is insane. I'm like, there's no way this thing is big as a dog. I can't believe that.
Man, yeah, I'm cool,
these
man. If I
niggas
see
got
something like
snakes that
that,
look
I'm
like
gone. I'm gone that same day.
Like about
I'm
the size of
never
a
going.
German.
I've already seen it.
And you know
I
that
seen the
it's
pictures.
gonna
I'm
be
good.
moving, man. It ain't just gonna be hanging from a tree, man. It's going to be moving.
Because here's the problem. As soon as that motherfucker look me dead in my eye, you know what it's doing? It's already trying to take my soul. I don't look at any animal dead in the eye because the motherfuckers try to take your soul. I believe in that. The Egyptians taught me that. Taught me that. Those motherfuckers like Irish, and you got to look away real quick or it's still your soul.
You're right. You're right too.
That's that Native American talk. I'm like,
except for dogs, man. Except for dogs.
Yeah, except for dogs. I trust the dogs. Dogs and cats are the only two animals that I look at.
Yeah, dogs is your best friend. Everything else, a dog could go take on a porcupine 7 days a week for his owner.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, my wife's dog, little dog about this big, I let him out to use the bathroom. So I turned my way. My wife's dog got Napoleon complex. She the littlest thing in the house, but yet still she thinks she can take everything.
Yell at everything.
So I probably should tell the story because I'm pretty sure my wife is watching. Fuck it, I'm already out here now, so I gotta tell it. So I turn my head to like do something with my son. All I hear is, "Oh God, no, Clancy!" The white dude across the street, like, it's 3 dogs. This dude got 3 dogs on the leash. My dog, my old wife's little black dog out there, you know what I'm saying, going at it. Dog on her back, she going at it. I come outside, he like, no, oh God, no. I'm like, this nigga acting like his dog is killing something. My wife's dog out there holding her own against these 3 dogs.
I'm about to say, was they jumping the dog?
Yeah, they was getting at her, but she was getting, you know what I'm saying? She was bobbing and weaving. One dog was on her back. She just threw the little back elbow like the Rock, you know what I'm saying? Like one of these moves.
A back kick.
Yeah, she, you know, roundhouse kicked one dog, walking Texas Ranger style, you know what I'm saying? Wow. Roundhouse this motherfucker, so he ain't had no chance. So
Right.
it's the other two big dogs, you know what I'm saying? She throwing paws with him. This white dude is screaming bloody murder, like, you know what I'm saying, like they about to do something. My dog she was on her own out there. But
Man.
here's the kicker. These motherfuckers had the nerve to call the cops and be like, oh my God, this dog, it attacked at us.
It attacked y'all.
This little small ass dog, man.
With 3 dogs though.
With 3 big ass dogs. We ain't talking about no little pups. These were some big ass, old ass dogs, man. She's out there holding on, man. They some bitches. Rodney, he's a bitch for that.
Yeah.
I just want to tell that story because
who's been in Texas? Who's been in Texas?
I
where the dogs are wild.
What do you mean?
Dogs be wild out in Texas, man. Where the dogs be wild, man. You go outside, and they've been living outside, man. They ain't been inside, man. So you always
they don't even got indoor dogs. Okay.
Ain't no owners.
I've always had indoor dogs. So you said it's just dogs that's in Texas, just outside.
Yeah, man. Especially in the country. See, my family was from the country, man.
Right.
I'm saying, so it wasn't like a whole bunch of houses around, man. It was all land. Them dogs were outside, man. So if somebody came, you know what I'm saying, and there was a threat or something, the dog was hungry. You know what I'm saying? You know? So it's like, yeah, man. And you might end up getting into a fight with the dog, the man. You know what I'm saying? Might end up getting to it. It wasn't just animals. It wasn't just, animals, they're able to communicate together.
Right.
But approaches the dog now, you got a wholly different story, man.
See, he got outside country dogs with a Bronx mentality. That's what that is.
Right. they outside, they stuck up. You can't come around, you can't feed them. They want to eat you.
Yeah. I don't trust a dog. I don't know, because people like, they don't bite. That motherfucker got teeth, nigga.
I'm not super afraid of dogs. I've had dogs my whole life, but I know specific dogs. Like, you know what I mean? There's certain dogs that can lock on and all type of stuff. I'm not gonna just be around. I'm cool.
They ain't been, they in the wild. They ain't been cleaning the dog. They got ticks. The dog it's wild. You know, that dog,
I thought it was weird being in, I thought it was weird being in California. I was just in, what was it, San Fernando? I want to say San Fernando, and it was like at nighttime, like a pack of like baby coyotes would just stand on the corner and make noise, like howling all night.
They was doo-wopping. You just the point. They're out there trying to get their barbershop doo-wop on the corner on.
Man, why is coyotes just running the hell around packing up like that? Like, I asked him, like, yo, what's that noise? It sounds like dogs getting jumped on the corner. He was like, man, that's the coyotes.
He said it just real nonchalant.
Like, it's just like this loud, weird scream. Like, I'm like, yo, this is weird.
Yeah, can you imagine the fear if you had never heard that before?
That's why I went and it was like, yo, what's going on your corner, man?
Hey, I'm using gunshots, liquor stores. You got wild coyotes.
But the crazy thing about it was that they lived in a neighborhood where all the houses was like, it was like the neighborhood like Rancho Cucamonga, but better. So houses is like a little next to each other, but they all nice. It's not the hood, and it's just like, what is that noise? And where the heck is it happening at? He like, yeah, they congregate over there on the corner. I'm like, what, bruh? So you telling me I could come out of my house to get ready to go to the store to get me a candy bar, and it's a group of temptation wolves at the bottom of my driveway.
Oh, that's what you got.
The coyote-tation.
You're not gonna do that, man. You're not gonna do that. Somebody has to take control of that situation because I'm trying to get my rest.
It's the coyotes. They out there congregating because they Jehovah's Witness codies. They trying to make.
They can't be doing that, man. It's people that come out at night and want to enjoy their yard. What they gonna do? Run up and jump you?
But see, they know that. That's why they come out at night, because the air is nice outside. They be like, man, brother, we gonna go out here. You hit this house, I hit this house. We're gonna tell them about our Lord and say a wily coyote. And make sure
I gotta record that next time I'm out there, man. That was something I never experienced, nothing like that.
Man, come on.
You gotta make sure that they recognize that he out here getting Acme products and dying for us. We can have a better life.
Them visions was way too deep, man. He tried way too hard, man, and never got to eat.
Man,
he tried way too hard, man. He was always skinny. You know what I'm saying? He never had
He
And
must have had a
all
finger
the
hut. He
other
must have had a
stuff.
finger hut account because he stayed ordering from Acme. I swear to God, I'm like you must have a credit
Man,
That
card, man.
nigga a line of credit and knew he was gonna be ordering every day.
Right,
It's
he
like,
ordered everything and it always messed up on me.
everything, dog. That's crazy though. Thinking back, looking at them, it literally depict what they look like, and you don't even really equate the two.
Man,
yeah.
there's some real life stuff going on right there, man.
But
I used to love them cartoons though.
Yeah,
I still do every now and then.
You know what, man? I go back to Ali.
yeah, I ain't hip.
Man, I go back. You know, Fat Albert and the gang.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it's me.
Brown Hornet.
Brown
I
Hornet.
I came around Doug
Jackson
time,
5.
man. Doug and Rugrats.
Yeah.
Rocco's
Man,
Modern Life, man.
Okay. I'm with you.
Wow.
Y'all Generation Y.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was wild. Yeah, it was Ren and Stimpy.
Nickelodeon, yeah. Nickelodeon and Cartoon Network was heavy when I was a kid.
Yeah, they started coming out with them new superheroes and stuff. Man. Yeah.
I ain't hit, man. I stopped. I stopped watching TV at a time, you know what I mean, at a certain point. Once I got into like my creativity, I stopped, you know what I mean? I stopped consuming TV. It just didn't do it for me.
Yeah, you ain't missing much.
The three-dimensional, man. You know, I started getting into that creativity. That's what I used to love, man. I used to sit down and mock them characters and stuff like that. That was what we came up on, man. That had our attention, man.
Right.
I love creativity. I had a love for that creativity. And then when we got older, they started showing us some of the subliminals. Now, I'm still not making sense out of all of it.
Like the behind the scenes stuff and all that?
Yeah, like how the creative mind works, man. And it starts going into the psychology of the creative mind, and then it starts pointing the finger at the cartoon, which we loved and enjoyed, and saying
but
that
now they trying to point out something to confuse you, yeah.
Yeah.
That's called hiding the truth in plain sight.
Yeah, in a sense.
As a kid, you don't get it.
That
As
and
an
also
adult, it makes you
Inception.
think.
That and also Inception, a plant, they planted something that grew with you.
But that same stuff is in our letters, man, and it's in our numbers.
Yeah.
And books and TVs and movies and raps and other adult content, I would say.
But the thing about being creative is that most creatives, the ones that get, good at their craft and understand what they're doing, they take on these things unconsciously. They just, because you got to think, we're doing something that attracts more and more and more people. Like it's like a glue. Of course, after a while, a lot of the things become traction due to the fact that there is already traction there. But when it's attracting that initial glue, that's because they're getting the inception that you're planting in those, those creative elements. Whether it's whether it's a song, whether it's a video, whether it's just like he told me about the PSG or Not Today. All of that was inception. I planted thoughts in those visuals.
Yeah. I mean, but those thoughts, the ones that I see, are the ones that make you paranoid. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
the ones that are deep. Yeah, I haven't taken it to the deepest level.
I took a story, that I wrote. You know what I'm saying? This is a hip hop, man. I wrote a story and then I articulated it in a creative fashion.
Right. Yeah, like I know exactly what you mean, man. I've seen joints that are thought provoking, but honestly, that some creatives can go real deep, man. Like I said, you got to think, man. My bar is somebody like J.K. Like when you could think like that, if I set her at the bar, I can only go down from there. So it's not that someone is less creative, but that is an amount of creativity that just you can't really fathom it in one. It's hard for me to put it in one brain. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like this woman said and created many, but that's what I'm saying. That's one person. So if I was to say she's here, then say we went over here to the guy who created Rich Man, Poor Man. You know what I mean? It's so many different types. Everybody has their own thing, but when you're going to the point where you're confident enough to take thoughts that you wouldn't just share with someone in a conversation and you actually make it a reality and it works, that's another level to me.
Yes, indeed. Yes, I got something that I'm working on right now with an artist sound major. And man, he got some stuff. You wouldn't believe what you're listening to, man.
That's what I meant.
All the way to the point where he will come out with something that sounds completely bogus on the surface. He called this one song "Beautiful Lies," and it sounds like some kids made the music, was banging on something. You know what I'm saying? It's completely sick. You know what I'm saying? Why are you? When you first listen to, I don't want to hear that.
Right.
This is my thought. Then I start listening to it. Yo, I'm about to make something out this. I like this. I'm hearing it. This is
Right.
what, and creativity be like that, man.
Yeah.
It be sometimes you really gotta watch it over and over again. It's a love for the art. You really gotta be able to interpret.
Yeah,
you do.
And I think it comes when the creator is doing that. Like, you get in creative zones, each creative in their own, but when you get into these zones and you begin to get more and more consistent, I think it becomes like a trail, like you're leaving like a trail of crumbs. Each joint is going to entice the person more and more. They're just going to follow you.
Yeah.
Like, whoever that guy is, whatever he's doing in that record, you could have been hearing track 30. He could have been doing that already and then elevating it from what you heard.
Yeah, it really was when you know what it is. You know what I'm saying? And the funny thing about it is, your what it is ain't always the same as the writer's what it is. You know? Right. I remember so many songs. Drake, man. What was that song, man? What was it? Nice for what?
Nice for what? Yeah. Nice for what? Shorty. Yeah, I remember that joint.
Yeah.
I was listening to the lyrics of that song, man, and I was interpreting it. My interpretation was my own subconscious interpretation. So it wasn't even the same as what was being said in the song.
Right. Man, you was ingesting
it. That's how creativity works, though. You inject your own.
You were taking it in. You were taking it in through your processor and processing it in the way you wanted to connect with it.
Yes. I was so hooked. It wasn't even what he was saying, man. I was so hooked on that song and that reality. And, he's saying what I want to. Next thing you know, he was saying something else. I still loved it. I still love the song. Don't get me wrong. But it was a total different thought, man.
It wasn't connected that way. It wasn't connected the way that it is to the naked eye. I know what you mean on that sense.
But the love for it never goes away. The love for the music never goes away, especially if it's that creativity that you're addicted to.
If you could just, as the artist, like if I'm gonna implement myself, it's not that I push a specific creativity or that I get to a different beat and be like, let me be more creative than before. It's the simple fact of just remaining creative. So whatever comes out is just going to be what was meant for that. And as you're continuing to go, you're going to have joints that are really creative to people and joints that some person might, you know what I mean? We can never sit around and just bask and expect love. Because everybody interprets differently. All four of us in here was to go and watch PSG, take 5 minutes and come back. He would have his own perspective and everybody would have their own perspective of what they thought of the video, but only I know what I implemented.
Right.
As an artist, you should.
Definitely in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah, that is true.
That's like the creative special thing about it.
We got to hold this. We got to hold this, fellas.
For sure.
We got to bring this back. Definitely want to get you guys back on.
All right.
My producer is telling me that we're running out of time, running short. I got to get my plugs in. But before we do that, we do this thing called Parting Shots. The conversation was so good, I told my producer he had to fuck off for a little bit, man. I wanted to let y'all run with it.
We've been talking some good stuff.
Yeah, man. And we're going to have to definitely do this again, man. You brothers are great. We do this thing called Parting Shots around here, man. It's that last chance to give everybody your social media handles where they can find you, what's next, and that last word before we close down the bar, put the clippers away, man, and get to skedaddling, as my friend used to say. Man, Mr. Johnson, man, talk to the people.
I want to thank you guys, man. I want to say blessings to all of everybody that's watching, everybody that sees this. I'm Prentice Johnson. You can find me at Prentice Johnson. Look for Roast Box. That's out there. And A Leap in the Fall is coming. I want y'all to look for A Leap in the Fall. I thank you and blessings and success to everybody.
Amen. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Suicide, talk to the people.
Yo, man, what it is. Once again, it's the kid Shuicide Holla, man. I do want to give another huge shout out to What's the Shit. I want to give a shout out to the man Prentice Johnson and everybody that's just really rocking with us at this moment, man. You can catch me anywhere. That's Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter at SHUICIDEHOLLA. I'm going to continue to push the bar, representing out of Cleveland, Ohio. It's for the East Side, man.
Yeah.
Chris, talk to the people.
Thursday, tomorrow night, 8:30 p.m. We are doing, well, I am and the guests are doing a recap of Disney Plus's new Marvel series, Moon Knight. So we're recapping episodes 1 and 2. Next Tuesday is back to me, DC, and Candy B. We are talking about some of the great stuff that we love and learned about from over the years, and we are breaking down everybody's favorite film, The Last Dragon. So tune in next Tuesday at 8:30 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can catch us every Tuesday. You can catch us on all streaming platforms and all social medias. You can catch us on IG or catch me on IG, Blurred's Eye View, all one word. Chris.Fury1 is the other IG. You can catch me on TikTok, Chris Fury1. Check us out on Facebook. Check us out on IG. Check us out on, everywhere. And more news to come. So stay tuned for that. But we ain't going nowhere. We got a lot of blurred stuff to talk about, and we here to cover it. So check us out. Stuck.
Okay, there we go.
There you go. I was gonna say you got Reggie's everything going on there.
No, I had to put myself in there. So, man, I want to thank these two talented brothers for coming on, man. We definitely gonna have them back. Definitely plan on promoting what they got going on, man. Great conversation, great dialogue, man. It was a show that, despite all the technical
accoutrements.
Yeah, I'm getting emailed by brother Polite, but he asked me if I want to get cryptocurrency. Anywho, the price of fame, you get all these fake motherfuckers. Anywho,
hey, promises. Do your own research.
Right.
I'm cool. I don't need none of that. But I gotta shout out Opulence Radio, man. We are a part of that. It launched Sunday. Monday night is Man Cave Mondays. If you go to opulenceradio.com, you will hear What the Shit. Now, tomorrow, if you go to opulenceradio.com, guess what you're going to hear? What the shit? So, you know what I'm saying? We on the internet radio waves, baby. We out here. More stuff. We got some more things coming down the pipeline. Some conversations being had. Once again, I can't talk about it until it's done. But once it's done, you know you'll get to hear from me. I got to thank WMIC Media Group, our media group out of New York. Courtney couldn't be here tonight, but I got to thank him, man. You know what I'm saying? Doing what he do. Got to thank Chris. Like I said, thank our guests, man. Thank all of our guests that's been here. I got movie goes to get away, so if you fellas don't mind, man, I want to get you guys a copy of this movie. It's called Death on the Nile. It's this crazy movie starring Gail Gadot, man, as being guest. Free movie night on us. I'll get those codes over to you as soon as I get them. Shout out to our people on Instagram, man. We just got over 2,500 followers, which is huge because back in August, I think we was at about 400. So good jump in a couple months.
Real talk. We can give them more than one movie if you want.
We can talk about that. I just want to get through this because I know people got stuff to do, man. It's getting late. I actually got a man to get to over here. You know what I'm saying? But no, man, I want to thank you guys for coming on, man. What you guys are doing is dope. Like I said, man, definitely want to run this back. Definitely want to. I'll be in contact. Just know that.
Trust. I'm coming back, man.
Just hit me up, man.
Are we recording right now?
We're live. Still live. Yeah,
I will be back. I appreciate that, man.
Oh yeah. I gotta tell everybody my corny little cliche, man. Once you hear your family, never hesitate to hit us up, man. You need something, you got something going on, man. You want the word to get out, we would definitely put the word out for you. Definitely want to promote, man. We try to promote people who come on, man, just because we feel like it's an honor for you guys to give us your time and share your time with our people. So for that, we will always be indebted and always be grateful, man. You got a video that you want coming out, you got coming out, man. We'll put it on our page, man, and share it to the people. With that being said, can I still do it? I can still do it. Okay. So with that being said, like I said, Apple's Radio, man, I'm excited about that deal. Just a simple fact that there's ad revenue. That has nothing to do with the people. That has to do with us, man. We finally get to get paid for our work, man. And we, as for me, that's big because, like I said, I only been doing this for 2 years, man. If you would have told me when I started this 2 years ago, it would be, you know what I'm saying, signing an internet radio deal, have some other things in the works, you know what I'm saying, doing sponsored giveaways and on our 5th season, going into our 6th and still being strong and still gaining traction and still having followers and fans and people who love what we do and enjoying it and kicking it with dope-ass guests from all over the world, I would have told you he was lying. And that's just me being honest.
Yes, I know.
But like I said, man, it's a testament to the hard work and those who create knows that it's hard work. It's not easy doing what we do. I gotta thank my wife, man. She puts up with a lot with my crazy antics and my what I call creative dumps. Because once I get off doing something creative, I have this pent up energy. So I end up getting off the show and I stay up late doing something or researching, or I just go around the house doing crazy shit that I probably should be sitting my punk ass down, but she puts up with it. So I gotta thank her for that. Yeah, Chris, you know, I do a lot of crazy shit.
I know. We in the same boat. So
I get off of here and I do a lot of crazy shit, but I have fun, man. For me, this is fun. So being able to kick it with dope people gives me that energy, man. It gives me that. It's like when Goku is asking for the people's energy to make that spirit bomb. That's what I get when I kick it with dope people. I get this energy. I get this transfer of energy, man. This, you know what I mean? It's a dope thing that I get to kick it with people who make me want to do more and make me want to create more and make me, you know what I'm saying, step my game up every time, because every time it's always a dope person. And I feel like each person is doper than the last, and that's not a shot to the last person. It just feels like that energy that comes, everybody comes with a different energy and you feel it. But I get this pent up energy, man. It's like a reserve that I get this second and third win after the show, so I'm always. But anywho, that's enough of that, man. Thank you to Shuicide, Holla, man. Thank you to Prentice B. Johnson, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for coming. Like I said, you guys will be back. Chris, anything else?
Like I said, Thursday night, tomorrow night, 8:30, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, all of that. Tuesdays, 8:30, same time, same place. Listen to us Spotify, Google Podcasts, Spotify, the whole nine, everywhere you listen to your podcast, iHeartRadio, we all over the place. Don't play with us. Bird's Eye View.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, again, opulensradio.com. Tomorrow, if you're not doing them between like 9 and 9 at night, you'll be able to hear your boys all day long. Goddamn, we on radio, nigga! Oh, shit! Sorry, that's my one explosion. Go back to humble brag mode. There's a few people I need to shout out on Instagram. Lynn Hay, Mama Ria, Brandon Janot. There's a lot more I can name. There's about 2,500
Shout
of
out
them,
to Brandon,
but I'm not going to do that because we all had the time nor the patience. Just naming them 4 people got to give me a headache. But those people are always there for us, always a part, showing support. Shout out to And She Creates, new network of people I just started getting in contact with. But without further ado, it's been great. It's been real. It's time to leave out with the white girl. No white girl?
Go home, folks.